The Daily Beast reports President Trump's personal attorney received hundreds of thousands of dollars from a company linked to a Russian oligarch. It is confirming claims made by Stormy Daniels' attorney, Michael Avenatti. He tweeted Tuesday suggesting the money could have been used as part of a payment to Stormy Daniels. CBS News has not been able to verify the other allegations by Avenatti. The adult film star has said the president paid her $130,000 so she would not discuss a sexual encounter she had with the president before he was a candidate. Here's what he said in an interview Tuesday night on CNN.
There will be a call for the release of this information, the suspicious activity report or reports relating to this account, so the American people can see exactly what happened here and whether additional Russian money was taken, and in addition, where the money went. Did all the money go to Michael Cohen? Did some of it go to the Trump organization? Did some of it go to the president? Because if additional monies were received in a pay-to-play type scheme, and if those monies made their way either directly or indirectly to the president, well, then we've got a whole different ballgame.
But wait a minute, you're raising the specter that Michael Cohen is receiving money to get access to the president of the United States, and that the president might be receiving some of that money? I mean, that seems...
I'm stating that that is certainly a possibility because we don't know where all of this money went, and we need to get to the bottom of it. The American people deserve to know where this money went.
Noah Shachtman is the executive editor of the Daily Beast, and Ryan Goodman is a law professor at NYU and editor-in-chief at Just Security. Welcome to you both. Noah, let me start with you. How big of a problem is this for Michael Cohen?
It's a pretty big problem. It's a pretty big problem. We're talking about a sanctioned Russian oligarch here, and through what appears to be his American company, Cohen received hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's not a good idea to be in business with a sanctioned Russian oligarch, even if the guy wasn't sanctioned at the time, and it looks terrible for President Trump, his one-time client.
Well, would a Russian oligarch routing payments to Mr. Cohen itself be an issue?
I don't think we know yet. There could be, we'll ask the lawyer here in a second,
yeah.
But about the legal ramifications, but the optics are terrible. And I think it raises a question, which is, there's been an open question about how did Mueller send Michael Cohen's case over to the Southern District of New York? Why did he do that? And it appears we may know the answer now, which is that Mueller came across what appears to be a payments from a sanctioned Russian oligarch, and as he was looking for those, he found this Stormy Daniels payment, and off we go to the races.
So help us understand here, Ryan, as a professor here. What stands out, first of all, most to you about this report?
So I think one of the pieces that stands out is the bank fraud allegation. So that the shell company that Michael Cohen created, it does appear as though that's not what he represented to the bank for the company that he was using. He said to the bank that this was a real estate investment company. Seems to be nothing of the sort. So that's just a clear legal issue, but I do think it raises issues with respect to the Russia collusion investigation. What is Michael Cohen doing this close to a Russian oligarch? And it starts to give the appearance of maybe a quid pro quo or the types of relationships. It explains why the New York Times reported just a month ago that Mueller's team had actually arrested the oligarch at an airport and asked him a series of questions. So it is obviously something of great relevance to Mueller.
And is the timing of the alleged payments at all at issue?
Well, the timing is somewhat curious because all the payments seem to have taken place after the election. But there's also this oligarch's cousin who's an American citizen and was the chief executive of the company. He apparently gives $250,000 to the inauguration committee, and it is obviously also relevant that Rick Gates is served on the inauguration committee, is now fully cooperating with Mueller. So Mueller's team must have a lot of information, and these are the kinds of payments that they would be quite interested in.
Noah, let me ask you, how do you think Michael Avenatti found out about this?
I have no idea. In fact, my source on this story, I had a source on this for a long time, but couldn't get a second one to confirm, said, how the F did Michael Avenatti find out about this? I think that's going to be a big question. Look, but when you do get into complex litigation, maybe there are bank routing numbers or account numbers that were able to be lined up. I'm not really sure.
Ryan, the New York Times is also reporting that the Russian oligarch connected to Cohen's company was questioned at an airport earlier this year by special counsel Mueller. Does that reveal anything about the special counsel's Russia probe?
So it does seem to draw the dots all the way back over to Mueller. And the fact that they're interested in this specific oligarch, the idea that they would actually take him at the airport when he got off the plane and ask him a series of questions, I think that means that it's connected up in some way or another, that they think there might be some there. Otherwise, they wouldn't go to that kind of an extraordinary and pretty much a public display of their powers, that this particular oligarch seems to be potentially connected to what might be Russia collusion in the election itself.
So there's so much we don't know, Ryan. I just have one more question. Stepping back from this particular case, but just more generally, if money is moved around the world, let's say, how much of a trail is there, depending on businesses and various kind of bank services that are used to move that?
So this kind of money doesn't seem to be secreted in the sense that it seems to be pretty easily available based on these bank transfers. And in fact, there are other companies now that we know have also been giving money into Michael Cohen's shell company, a shell organization. So AT&T is a story that broke as well this evening, saying that they also gave a lot of money into this consulting company that Michael Cohen had set up, or whatever the pass-through is. So I think a lot of this seems to be within the bank records. This is not something that's happening in terms of anonymous sources of funds, and it's only like 1 or 2 degrees of removed from the actual source of the fundings that are coming through into Michael Cohen's bank account. So I don't think this one is going to be as hard to track down. It doesn't look like a typical money laundering situation. It looks like something else is going on.
And Noah, what are the questions you have now?
Oh, God, where to start?
How much time do we have?
Yeah, I mean, what did this oligarch's company, what did they think they were getting for their hundreds of thousands of dollars? What did AT&T think they were getting for their hundreds of thousands of dollars? What did Novartis think they were getting for these hundreds of thousands of dollars? And what was Michael Cohen thinking by taking all this money? And did Trump know about any of this? We know that Trump put money into Cohen's pocket when he paid out to Stormy Daniels. Did any of this money flow back the other way? There's just so many questions.
And as you said a moment ago, how did Michael Avenatti know about this? All right, we could be here all night. Noah Shachtman and Ryan Goodman, thank you both.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Well, we'll be back in a moment with an update on the West Virginia GOP Senate primary. Stay with us.